Hello, hello. Testing. Oh, hi, Chelsea. Welcome, welcome. So today's we are going to do a live demo on how to paint some autumn leaves. I'm gonna start really soon. How are you guys? Going to write some notes on the side. You just finished all your homework. That's great. Always good to finish the homework. So I'm gonna show you how to paint autumn leaves in watercolors, and it's gonna be really simple, and we are gonna do a simple demonstration. So we will do like a single leaf. I'll show you how to paint some single leaves first. For those who just come in, if you want to look at the reference, I have put it I have collected some autumn leaves reference on Pinterest. Let me load it up. It's on this side. It is the most. Oh my god. Is it blocking? I have trouble resizing. Okay. So you can find a link to this Pinterest board on the comment. I have pinned a comment there, so you can find the link there, or in the description of this video. We are gonna just start with a really simple single leaves. I think we could. Which one should we do? Maybe we'll do a maple leaves. Say something like this. So I'm gonna just move this window over. Or should I just hide it? I mean, you can always go to the Pinterest page if you want. Okay. I've not streamed on YouTube in a while and finding it hard to monitor or too many windows open. Same Chelsea from Twitch, welcome. Yeah, so let's start with a single. The first step is we will start from the most simple demo. So we'll do a single leaf. For autumn leaves, like in the reference photos that I showed you, I think like maple. Is this how do you sell maple? it has a really distinguished form, right? And it it is also the kind of leaves that will remind you of autumn. So I think it is one good example to start with. Too bad I don't have maple leaves. I don't know why I have these leaves around, but I want to show you a closer look at it. If you have a maple leaf or some autumn leaves that you can pick from the ground, you can try to take a closer look at them. It will help you with the painting. All the paintings or drawing starts from observation. So the only difference with these leaves and the maple is the shape and the colors. But you can see that like these edges, they are not straight, right? Like you can see how wrinkled it is. And also the colors, even though this look like a brown leaves or a reddish brown leaves, you can see the variations of colors inside the leaves. So some part are more red, or there are also some darker part. So these are things that you should try to observe, which will help you with the drawing and the painting process. Okay, so we will use the maple leaf reference. I should just put this aside, and I'll show you the reference on my phone instead. I think that would be a better way to handle. Otherwise, there are just too many windows open on my screen, and I can't really handle that. So going to the reference link. There are a few maple leaves in this reference folder. Sorry about the reflection. Hey, Cheesecake! Welcome. We are going to do some simple demo today, so I'm just starting out. But I want to talk about, like, if we want to paint the maple, the first thing to do is to observe the shape. It actually looks a bit like a star shape here. It will help you when you are drawing. So like it's something like this, right? And then or you could start with a star shape. It's showing up. And then like this would be the vine, and then you fill out the outline. It would be something like this. So this way you are analyzing the subject, and as I mentioned earlier, like the edges of these leaves, right, are not straight lines, or it won't look very smooth. It usually would be have wrinkles like this. And from the photo here, you can see that it will curve like that as well. Okay, so just keep going. So this would be outline of maple leaves that when you look at it you will instantly recognize it because of its unique shape. So we have talked about this shape and the lines that you have to pay attention. Okay, I should write that down too. The line, the quality of the lines basically, and then we can try to draw that on the watercolor paper. Basically going through the same steps. So putting that aside, I'll draw one here. I'm starting with the vines because it helps me to define the structure of these leaves, and then start to draw the outlines that is irregular, basically the outline. There might be chips, like some part of it is imperfect, so you can try to draw that out as well. Okay. And then the stalk here. I think this should be quite easy, right? If you are afraid that you might not be able to get the right shape, actually you shouldn't be worried about this, because things in nature, there isn't a right way, like a particular way that you should draw anything, right? So as long as you get the overall form and the unique structure out, it should be all right. So after you are able, let me put this down a little bit. After you draw the outline, the other thing that we can start to talk about is the colors. So colors. So again, observation again. Looking at the reference photo, you can see even though this is kind of like a golden yellow leaves, but then there are some parts which is more red or brown, especially around the edge. But there are also some different colors inside. So we should try to, when we are painting the autumn leaves, we should try to vary the color. So let me write that down. Color variation is really important, and we will do this by using wets onto or wets into wet method to paint the base layer of the leaves. If you guys have any questions, or if I'm not explaining clearly, you should just let me know in chat. Let me know if you guys are following. Okay, let's continue. So when we'll do the first step to paint these leaves, which is using the wets into wets method. And before I start painting, I need to spray some water over my paints so that I could activate them. spray some water. And then second step, I'm going to wet this area, especially the inside of the leaves. So I want to have a layer of clean water. And when you do the wet onto wet method, when you use the wet into wet method, the color will only go to the part where you have paint with water first. So you can kind of control where you want the color to be. Okay, so just make sure it's wet, but not like it doesn't have any water puddle on it, otherwise it will be too wet. For these leaves, we'll use mainly the yellow color, but we will also drop in some red and orange and brown color to create the color variation. So I'm starting with the lighter color, which is the yellow colors. And then picking up some orange. I'm dropping the colors from the edge, also near this stalk area. This side has more of the yellow, the orange. And just let the colors mix on paper. You don't have to go through it all the time. Like, you don't have to brush it too many times. Just let the color run into each other. And now I'm picking up some of this Indian red color and just gonna touch on some of these edges. See, I just touch on it and it will run into the inside part of the leaves, so it would be really like dark on the outside. You can create this edge. And to drop in a little bit along the vine as well. I think I will use the same color for the stalk here, so I'll just pull this color down. But I don't want the whole thing to be just one color, so I'm dropping in some orange near the end. And now continue to add more of this brown color to the edge. As long as this, you can see a little bit like the shine on the paper, so it's still wet, and that's when you can still like drop in this color and let it mix. As long as the paper is still wet, you can do that without worrying of having the watermark on the paper. I'm just making sure that some of these edges has more brown color. Maybe I could drop in a bit in the middle as well. basically just slowly work on it. Try to create this color variation. So I'm dropping a bit more orange into this brown spot. Also, I want to have a bit more color along this vein here. So I'm just pulling the color along. I think I could have more color or darker shade on this side. I am mixing a little bit of the Payne's gray into this Indian red to create an even darker shade of the brown color. So I have to use it sparingly, not a lot, but certain places, just to push certain area to create this even more contrast, mainly along some of the edges here. And also near the stalk here. Certain part of it will have a darker shade. So you can see how many colors I have used to paint this leaf here. And you basically have the base color, the first layer of the leaf already. Because the paper is still a little bit wet, like not completely dried yet. Hey, my Danky, welcome, welcome. 大面 Hello, how are you? Yeah, so I think I can do another one to show you the process, and I'll draw another one over here while we wait for this one to be completely dry, and then we can work on the vines. So it's really simple. All you need is like 2 layers, and we finished the first wets and 2 wets layer. I will do this again, and let me look at another reference. So apart from the maple leaves, I think the really interesting and unique shape. Oops. This is not what I mean. Right. Or maybe we can do this one. That looks really nice as well. So let me show you how would I draw the I got some warning on my YouTube. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What does that mean? Viewers will experience buffering. Oh, are you guys experiencing delay? Looks like I keep getting the warning with because of the bit rate. I only realized that like the stream status is poor. Oh my god. What should I do about it? I am not too sure. Open widget. It doesn't help here. It's back to good now, but I have no idea what's going on. Looks like my internet might like the line is not very good tonight. You're fine. That's good to know. Okay, so let's continue. I wanna show you how to paint this type of leaves. Again, to observe the shape, and it's something like an oval shape overall. So something like these. But then you can see that there are like small leaves. It's almost like small leaves but combining together. So it's something like this, right? And these are the vines. Compared to the maple leaves, the overall shape is more round, but you can see that there are still edges around these leaves. And like I said, the shape of these the edges of the leaves won't be perfect, and usually there are some holes inside as well, so we are gonna draw that as well. That's pretty much it. So once you have a rough pencil sketch, you can start to well, I think if you're drawing on the watercolor paper, you will have to erase the line and slowly refine it. But here I just want to show you how the overall shape of this particular leaves would look like. So I think it will be something like this. You don't have to draw the inside, but when you are observing, you will notice like the structure would be something like this, and it will help when we are doing the details and the like these edges. So it'll be something like this, and the holes. And I'm gonna redraw that on the watercolor paper. The stream end? Really? I think I am having some problem with the bit rate. I don't know what to do with it. Am I still live now? Looks like I have a lot of dropped frames. So I'm coming back. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. The connection seems to be really poor today. Okay, so think we can continue. Like, I am not sure if looks like I'm still live, but the video is not loading. I don't know if it's the same for you guys. Oh, that's a cute emo. Okay, then I'm gonna redraw that on the watercolor paper, keeping the structure of this leaf in mind. I'm gonna draw pretty lightly. Just imagine there are smaller leaves inside. And also the holes, we are gonna draw out the holes this time. Oops. And the indication of the vines. Okay. If you look at the reference here, right, you can see that there are so many different colors, but mostly along the warm side. So even for the yellow leaves, usually it has orange in it, or it has some of the greens in it, the red in it. It won't be just one flat color. You see, these also have some green and orange in it. And like that one has a lot of the orange, brown, reddish color in it. So for which one we are trying? This one. This one is mainly orange, but there are also yellow color and red color in it. So I think we will again wet the leaf with clean water, because we are doing the wet into wet first layer. Don't have to worry about the holes, just paint the whole thing. Now starting with the lightest color first, so dropping some yellow in. And then more orange this time. Just let them mix here. And I think we'll go for some red color. This. Oh, there's some hair on the brush. Let me take this off. Within this red, you could still drop in some yellow and just let them mix. I think this is the most relaxing and the most fun part of painting these autumn leaves, because you can just let the colors run into each other. As long as the paper is wet, you can just let them mix. A bit more orange. So I'm staying within the red, orange, yellow color palette. Now for the edge, remember the edge won't be just a smooth color. So I'm going to dry up my brush a little bit and pick up some orange and red color, and now try to like draw some of the edges of the leaves. It has some tiny spikes around it. Just make sure that it's not completely smooth. Because the color that I'm using right now is more concentrated than the colors that I used for the first wash, so it won't create the background effect. And because the paper is still kind of moist, it won't leave the watermark as well. I just wanna smooth that out, dropping in more yellow or more orange. The video is not loading on my page. I'm not sure if I'm still live. Just trying to work on these edges. As there's more yellow down here, I'm gonna get some yellow color to work on these edges. I think that looks pretty good to me. Now I'm gonna drop in some darker shades and pull that down. Again, for the stalk of the leaves, it won't be just one color as well. So I'm gonna drop in a bit of the darker shade. Let me try to take a photo before we continue. So this first layer is pretty much done. I think the color on top might be a bit too dilute. I'm gonna add more color to it. More paint, less water. Make sure I have absorbed the extra water on my brush. Just wanna drop in more darker shade here. And some red color. closed my reference photo accidentally. Open that up again. Okay. So I wanna also just paint in this vein. Pull the colors down. Hello Vicky, welcome in. How are you? Now we have to wait for this part to this leaves to dry, and I'm gonna work on the details of this one. Because it's now completely dry. Basically this already looks pretty finished. Just need a little bit more detail for the veins. You can see the color is darker, right? So you just need to mix like a reddish brown color. You can change to a smaller brush to do that, but I usually just use one brush to do all of my painting. This small brush can come to a really sharp point, so I would just use the same one. But if you are worried about like not able to draw a really thin line, you can change to a smaller brush. So Vicky, how are you doing? Now I'm just gonna draw along this line. The four main you don't have to draw a complete straight line. You could just leave some part as well. Just leave some part undrawn. So these are just the detail part. Eating lunch right now. It's good to know. Enjoy your lunch. I hope you are having a great lunch. I'm mixing some yellow because I don't want it to be just like a brown, complete brown reddish color, so you can mix in some other colors as well. And now I want to draw this even more tiny one with the yellow. Having references really helpful, because even though you think that, oh, you know how the leaves look like, but if you look closer when you zoom in, look at how the structure, it is more helpful when you have a nice reference. The painting will turn out to be more realistic in that sense. I think I want to add a little, like 2 small holes into that leaves as well. This one over here, so I'm mixing a dark color around. it. my god! I almost dropped the brush. I'm gonna enhance the edge. The edges. Not every part, but only a certain part of it. And I think this leaves is now finished. How do you like it? Here's the reference. And let me see. I guess we can work on the details for that one now. Mixing a darker brown, reddish brown color. Slightly lighter for the smaller veins around. It's really up to you how detailed you want it to be. And now the imperfect holes in it. Bit more red. want a bit more textures near this end here, so I'm using kind of like a brown color to add in this small detail. And the edges. And it's finished. So really simple ways to paint leaves. The main technique is the wet into wet first layer, where you get a variety of colors, get a variation of the colors onto it, and then after it's completely dried, you can add in some of the details like the holes, or you could even paint the water droplets on it to make them look more interesting. And that's pretty much it for today's simple demo. Do you guys have any question about it? Feel free to let me know in chat, or you could join our Discord and you could ask in our Discord, or you could just leave a comment in the video. Yep, so for these YouTube streams, I will try to keep it really simple, and probably we will do it for around an hour only. So I hope you enjoy watching me painting these really simple autumn leaves. If you want to use the same technique to do a more complicated, you could actually use the same technique to do a more complicated illustrations. Here is a good reference. Like, you could vary the shape of the leaves and the colors. So you could draw a few more around, and then it will look like a nice illustration. Or you could try to draw them around a circle to make it like a decoration thing. And if you actually follow the demo and paint your own version, do feel free to tag me on social medias, or just let me know. I would love to see that as well. And one last thing, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please click the subscribe button. Turn the notification on as well, so that you will know that when I have new videos out and when we have live stream demos. I think I will show you guys this one. This one is from one of our previous demo on negative painting, and you could actually use similar technique but do a negative painting type of the illustration. So actually in this one, you also mix use a mix of yellow, green color to it, and just imagine painting these leaves in layers like you do in the negative painting demo. Then you could create a really interesting illustration as well. Alright, so I guess this is the end for the stream. I'm so sorry about the delay in the stream image. I think there's some problem with the internet today. I hope next time it will be more smooth and it will be better, hopefully. I'm not sure what should we do for our next demo. If you have any idea, also please let me know on Discord, or leave a comment in chat. Hope to see you next time. I will be streaming on Twitch coming Sunday. So hope to see you there as well. Take care, everyone. Good night. Bye bye.